So I really want to thank the sponsors of this event, because I think it's so important that we continue to have dialogue and conversation. And when I was asked about the city of Albany being a sanctuary city, and why are we going to be a sanctuary city, and what happens if the government cuts off federal funding, you know, for me, being a sanctuary city, first of all, I'm not going to let Washington or a certain person in Washington define what that means, right? But secondly, to me it was important because of the message that it sends to everyone who is here, whether they are documented or undocumented. Because when we start throwing words around that we all know are dog whistles for the lesser part of what it means to be an American, right? To that sort of plays into that xenophobia. When we start to throw those words around, it strikes fear in the hearts of everyone who sees themselves as possibly being an other. And so when we talk about being a sanctuary city, it's about ensuring that everyone who is here knows that they are welcome. And that when we interact with people, we look at them as human beings, not because of their religion or their race or their ethnicity or their gender identification. We're all human beings. And it's so important that we continue to have dialogue and discussion around it. You know, in looking at what I've witnessed just over the last year, it's really stunning to be in a room at the Islamic Center with engineers and doctors and software coders and people who are working in our hospitals and in our restaurants, who are entrepreneurs, and to hear the fear in their voice, right? It's stunning. It's stunning. And so we have to ensure that we have this dialogue. And, you know, I bring it back to something that's kind of lighthearted, but to me it demonstrates what we're dealing with. But you all know the movie Beauty and the Beast. I haven't seen the live version, but, you know, I'm talking about the ones that my kids saw, right? So there's that mob scene. So, has everyone seen Beauty and the Beast? Yeah. Right? And so there's this mob scene where they're going to get the beast, right? And in that scene, it is all about the fear of the other, right? And I think the lyrics are something like, and it's only 2 lines, but I always mess it up. But they're saying, we don't like what we don't understand. In fact, it scares us. And this monster is mysterious at least, right? And I know it's Disney, but doesn't that sum it up? And so this is about ensuring that we understand, that we listen to one another, so that this fear that drives, to me, 99% of the violence and the objectification, right, of people, that we can dispel that, and we can start to see one another for who we are and for what we stand for, and that we can find that way of not just respecting one another, but of enveloping and inviting and learning from one another. And that is what you are going to be doing a little bit of today. And I hope that you have a wonderful opportunity to share, and then to take this out into our community to help to continue to ensure that Albany is a welcoming city, a place of sanctuary, and a place for everyone. Thank you.